Shooby dooby doo. Be dooby dooby. Shooby dooby doo. Let's get this thing on the road here on a Monday night. We got a whole weekend of sports to catch up on here. And let's see if we can do it. And we've got good things happening there. All right. Hey, welcome to Tom Gulley's Unnecessary Sports Show. And I am Tom Gulley, and this, as you will find, is pretty unnecessary. But we're going to do it anyway. That's just how we roll. On the Unnecessary Sports Show, I've got a lot of places to share this to real fast. We got a Monday Night Football game underway. And it's at halftime right now. The Cardinals are leading the hapless Cowboys in Dallas. Is that in Dallas? Where is that? I thought it was in Dallas. It might be in Arizona. I don't know where it's at. Yeah, it's in Dallas. The pain is in Dallas currently. It's 21-3 at half. Apparently Andy Dalton not beguiling the NFL as well as the Cowboys would have hoped. But the Cardinals do have a potent offense. And that's something to contend with, so we'll continue to share this around. We had two really great Game 7s, especially that National League final last night. And so we've got a World Series with the Rays and the Dodgers. So, I'm looking forward to that. It starts tomorrow night in Arlington, Texas. And we'll be watching that as much as possible. Let's get this shared around to a few more groups so they can have the Unnecessary Sports Show as well. Would hate for anybody to do without unnecessary sports. And bingo, bango, jingo, jango. That's there. Let's see here. Let's get another one going here. We might recap a little MLS, certainly the NFL, certainly the UFC, and any stories of the day which we find to be sufficiently interesting or infuriating. You've got your choice there. See, okay. Oh, man, oh, man. A lot of college football. I haven't really paid too much attention to college football because there's so many leagues playing shortened schedules. I think the MAC starts in November and Mountain West maybe. I don't know. I can't keep track of it. They all just kind of did their own thing. So we really haven't followed too much. And again, I feel like college football is the world's largest exhibition sport. They don't have a real playoff. Nobody really has anything legitimate going on. Rosie Williams says, hey, Tom. Hey, Rosie. How you doing? Your Dodgers won. Our Colts won. Arsenal lost. It was painful. It was very, very painful for me. But they put in a decent performance. They're getting better all the time, so I'm not gonna get too upset. I love having the extra Monday game. Hey, Morty Vicker, he says, how goes it? What'd you guys have? I just had the other half of my T-bone, and I've got the meat sweats again. So let's go to Twitter. If anybody's got hashtags, I'm up for them right now. I'd love your hashtags. Would love them. Let's see here. We've got live streaming, sports talk, MNF, NFL, MLS, UFC, and I'll just go ahead and do MLB Playoffs. And what was the other one I was going to do? Oh, yeah, get them beans on Rosie. Whoops. Let's see if I did that right. I did. It's a really good episode of Star Trek Next Generation on. Okay, you guys got any hashtags you partial to here? Meat sweats. Yeah, you don't get the meat sweats? When you eat a whole bunch of meat at once and you sweat right afterward. That's the meat sweats. Yeah. I mean, it may have another less wholesome meaning, depending upon your part of the country. I don't know. Just, hashtag meat sweats. Okay. New name of the show. Hashtag meat sweats. Oh, boy. Wow, Selma Hayek's daughter. Yowza. Okay, meat sweats. That'll do it. That'll do it. Here you go, Twitter. Take that. Add that to your litany of obscure tweets. Ha ha. Ha ha ha. Ha. Dolores Colbert says the Unnecessary Sports Show. Yeah. Yeah, that's what we're calling it now. The Sports Spectacular didn't attract enough attention. Morty Vickers is laughing at the name too. Yeah, well, I told you. I might just do it. Let's see here. I think there it is for you. There you go. That's what we got for you. I think it's a little more charming. People saying hi to each other. All right. Well, you guys want to get this thing under the way? Why wait? Why wait? Let's just do it, shall we? Let's get this thing going. Here we go.
Tom was a white male. Always invited to the cookout.
Always.
But he spit straight hot fire. Okay? You said who is the best commentator on Facebook Live? Tom.
Because he spit hot fire.
Because he spit hot fire.
Yo, he even got the last name. And let me tell you this too. Tom potato salad good.
No raisins.
It ain't bland. No raisins. No raisins.
I don't care who owned the Chiefs. I hate it here. Make me sick. My allergy. Puke every time. Blah, like that. Puke.
Well, you're a goalie. You're supposed to be like that.
Somebody owned the Chiefs. We go to Florida and I get the money.
Down goes Frazier! Down goes Frazier! Down goes Frazier!
Let me answer that. That is an absolute crock of you people in the news media, all of you dwell on some negative piece of like that. And I don't know how Steve feels about it, but it just and you don't have to bleep one single word of this.
It doesn't work for me. I gotta have more cowbell.
Hi, I'm Jim Harbaugh of the Indianapolis Colts, and I recommend that you wear a helmet while listening to the show.
Hey, welcome to our brand new show. Morty Vickers here. He says hello to Mrs. Colbert, and people are talking to each other in here. Rosie Williams is here. Dolores Colbert is in here. We got quite a show for you tonight. We're going to recap the MMA of the weekend. We're going to recap Major League Soccer, of course, the NFL. We're going to talk just a little bit about the upcoming World Series, and we do have some stories, that we need to cover. We're going to do it all here on the Unnecessary Sports Show. And I have to change the title of the channel, I think. I don't think I did that. Anyway, I made a new art card. What more do you want? Halftime right now in Monday Night Football. Cardinals 21, Cowboys 3. Not looking good for the Cowboys at all. We're going to talk about the Titans facing some fines as the NFL ends its virus audit. The Cowboys having a linebacker returning. And, of course, he's scrappy. Them Cowboys, they love a scrappy linebacker. And there's an interesting golf match that'll be coming up. Earlier today, the Chiefs defeating the Bills 26-17. And I love the two Monday games, especially since one of them is always on regular, you don't have to pay for it television. So we'll start getting to all of that stuff. And Dodgers win, Rays win. We got a Dodgers-Rays World Series starting tomorrow night. Ought to be great. Some great pitching. Both teams have the substantial amount of depth. Those are the very two best records in baseball this year. So even with the shortened schedule, I think the good teams made it to the World Series. Hopefully it'll be a good one. Hopefully the Dodgers will win, so Lynette Miller will remain happy. That's my only goal in life, is a happy Lynette Miller. Well, and this show, of course, and the other show. And I've got the meat sweats. I just finished off a T-bone. I've got a severe case of the meat sweats. Something else that'll give you the meat sweats is my MLS picks for the weekend. I don't know, man. We'll go through that real quick here. Ray's Playoffs team wasn't even on TV once. Yeah, I know. That's not good. But they're going to be on the World Series. I guess there has to be a few World Series games on regular television. We'll look at that in just a second. What do we got going on here? What a mess. Today, the Philadelphia Union beat the New England Revolution. I think I picked that because I love to pick against the. Wait a second here. Let's go one deeper than that. All right. Chicago Fire and Sporting Kansas City tied 2-2. That is a push. I picked the Montreal Impact over Inter Miami. That was a 2-1 Montreal win. Columbus Crew, New York City FC. I unwillingly picked Columbus Crew. They won 3-1. New York Red Bulls, Orlando City was a 1-1 tie. That's a push. FC Cincinnati and DC United. I think I picked FC Cincinnati, and they lost 2-1. I'm going to take that as a loss. Toronto FC and Atlanta United. I picked Toronto. They won 1-0. Minnesota United and Houston Dynamo, 2-2 tie. That's a push. Portland Timbers, LAFC, 1-1 tie. That's a push. LA Galaxy, Vancouver Whitecaps. I picked Vancouver, and they lost 1-0. Earthquakes and Sounders tied 0-0. There's another push. I got the Revolution right. There's some matches occurring. Just a handful of them, though, so I'm not going to mess with them right now. I'll mess with them tomorrow. Well, there's a match on tomorrow. It is Nashville SC going against FC Dallas in Nashville. I'll take FC Dallas. Wednesday, Colorado Rapids, Sporting Kansas City. I can't help but pick against the Colorado Rapids. Give me Sporting KC, who has messed me over countless times. And then Seattle Sounders, Portland Timbers in a Cascadia Cup match. Man, that's a tough one. It's in Seattle. Give me Seattle Sounders. Nashville SC taking on New England Revolution. I'm going to pick New England against the expansion Nashville franchise. So I missed two matches. There was a lot of ties, so that's a little misleading. But I'm still taking it. Let's go to the NFL here real quick. Dolores Colbert says, now I have no empirical knowledge who to pick for series win. Hey, if I was picking in any other sense except for I want Lynette Miller to be happy, I wouldn't know who to pick either. I think the Dodger pitching is faltering a bit, and I think the hitting is faltering. Although they had clutch hitting in that Game 7 last night, in addition to the fact that they did win 3 in a row. So, I don't know. Morty loved the Mr. Scotland reference. Mr. Scotland. Yeah, that's Thomas Hamilton. He's a nice guy. Second half has started in the Cardinals and Cowboys. Cowboys have the ball 1st and 10 at the Arizona 46. Dalton a short pass to Cooper for 26 yards. Oh, boy. Andy Dalton getting something working. Come on. Let me see the scores from this past weekend. All right, folks, let's see how I did. Cardinals and Cowboys. I picked the Cowboys. Doesn't look good. I picked them at home against the Cardinals. Chiefs, Bills. I picked the Chiefs. Titans, Texans. I'm pretty sure. Who did I pick in that one? Did I pick the Texans? I'm just going to go ahead and say I did. I'm going to say that I did do that. I don't know that I did. You guys might remember better than me. I don't. But I'm going to go ahead and take that as a loss, just to be completely fair. Colts, Bengals, I had the Colts. Falcons, Vikings, I took the Vikings. There's another loss. It was in Minnesota. Falcons, they had to win sometimes. Broncos, Patriots, pretty sure I took the Patriots. And there's another one on the loss side. Washington and the Giants, I'm pretty sure I picked against the Giants. There's another loss. Ravens, Eagles, I picked the Ravens. Steelers, Browns, I picked the Steelers. Bears, Panthers, I took the Bears. Lions, Jaguars, I did take the Lions, and they did win 34-16. Dolphins and Jets, I took the Dolphins. They blanked the Jets. Buccaneers and Packers, I took the Packers, and they got stomped. 49ers and Rams, I think I took the Rams. So there's my first 5 loss of the season. Could be 6. Could be 6 if the Cowboys lose tonight. How are they doing right now? How are they doing? Rosie Williams says, I was getting nervous that first half of the Colts game. I was too. I was like, please don't do this. Please don't do this. Cardinals have the ball back. Cowboys did not score. Dalton intercepted. And now the Cardinals have the ball 1st and 10 at their own 21. Zeke has fumbled twice in that game. Twice. Let's go ahead before we go to the UFC. Let's check out some of these NFL stories. Rosie said bad picks. Well, I kind of only miss 3 or 4 a week, and I missed 5 this week, so I'm not happy. The NFL has informed the Tennessee Titans that its review of how the team handled its coronavirus outbreak has concluded. The organization will face a potential fine, a league source told ESPN's Adam Schefter. Individuals will not be disciplined, and there was no discussion of a forfeiture of draft picks. The team was fully cooperative as the league inspected the facility and found it to be in compliance. There were incidences of people not wearing face masks, but there was insufficient communication regarding player workouts outside the facility. So that's where they got in trouble. It was outside the facility. Dolores Colbert says 3 turnovers. Not good for the Cowboys. Not good for anybody, but mostly the Cowboys. Let's see here. Van Der Esch is back for the Cowboys because he's scrappy. We at the Dallas Cowboy organization, we do value a scrappy linebacker. We like them scrappy. We want them as scrappy as we can get them. So there's a few stories there out of the NFL. Let's go and see if there's any. I think there's that golf story I could tell you about. It's kind of interesting. It's kind of a cool charity match. Phil Mickelson will take part in another high-profile charity golf match, but this time Tiger Woods will not be part of it. Charles Barkley will partner with Mickelson in a match against Stephen Curry and Peyton Manning on November 27th at Stone Canyon Golf Club in Arizona. Called Capital One's The Match, Champions for Change, the format will be modified alternate shot, and it'll be the day after Thanksgiving, televised by Turner Sports on TNT. Mickelson and Woods staged a high-profile match 2 years ago in Las Vegas, with Mickelson emerging as a $9 million winner. They joined forces again in May with Manning and Tom Brady in a match that raised more than $10 million for coronavirus relief efforts. Proceeds for this November's match will go to historically black colleges and universities. While we may need a handicap for Chuck, I'm looking forward to playing with Peyton and Stefan and to raise money for another important cause, Mickelson said in a statement. It's also going to give fans and viewers an up-close look at Stone Canyon Golf Club, a place I'm extremely proud of and excited to show how special it is. So, interesting golf going on there. Dolores says, should have treated Jimmy Johnson good, a real coach. Morty Vickers says, Peyton is a class act. And Rosie says, Dodgers are going to take it. Well, the Dodgers do have the advantage of having played 7 games in Arlington, Texas in a row. So they'll be familiar with that particular stadium. And off we go. Let's just, I hate it when it does that. Let's just give you a quick look at the World Series schedule. Morty Vickers says, and he's a damn good golfer. I am absolutely no hesitation. I am terrible at golf. Everything, I don't have a long game. I don't have a short game. I shouldn't say it. I am really good at driving the cart. That's what I'm good at. The World Series starts tomorrow. All of these games will be televised on over-the-antenna television on Fox, and that's going to be a Tuesday, Wednesday. They get Thursday off. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they get Monday off, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, if it goes 7 games, as did the 2 league championship series. So there you are. That's what's happening. Tomorrow night's game begins 5 o'clock Pacific time, 8 o'clock Eastern time. So the Dodgers will be the home team. They'll have last bats in tomorrow night's first game of the World Series. So there we are in the world of baseball. Been very, very good to me. Rosie Williams says, with that head, you would think it would throw off his golf swing. Dolores Colbert says, I sit at the 18 and go frequently to the clubhouse. There you go. Morty Vickers says, how dare you? Rosie is fired. He's a saint. Look, you're not going to find a bigger Peyton Manning fan than me. I mean, I think he's the best quarterback in the history of the game. But he does have a trash can for a head, man. That is one big melon. We got to call a thing a thing. We can't really, Glasnow and Snell will start the first World Series games, the first 2 for the Rays. Then Kershaw will be pitching for the Dodgers in Game 1. Dodgers are favored over the Rays. And Bill Miller is named the crew chief. Dodgers claw back, ride Bellinger home run to the World Series. That was last night. I will tell you that the balls and strikes last night in the Dodgers, and the Braves game, they were called perfectly. I mean, they were outstanding. They missed a couple. They're always going to miss a couple that are real close. But man, oh man, they did it. I thought the officiating was exceptionally good. Rosie Williams says, "I heart Peyton." How do you not like Peyton? Sports books have installed the Los Angeles Dodgers as the favorite over the World Series participant Tampa Bay Rays after the Dodgers finished off the Atlanta Braves on Sunday. Sportsbook operator William Hill U.S. made the Dodgers a -210 favorite to beat the Rays in the series, which does begin tomorrow night. By Monday morning, the consensus price to bet the Dodgers, had settled at -195, with the underdog Rays fetching +165 odds. So there you go. When the revised season was announced in June, the Dodgers were listed as co-favorites with the Yankees to win the World Series. The Dodgers remained at the top of the odds board throughout the abbreviated regular season and have been the betting favorite in every game, including the postseason. They became the 8th team to overcome a 3-1 deficit to win a league championship series and are now headed to the franchise's 21st World Series. So there you go. They're a -170 favorite over the Rays in Game 1. So most experts expecting, and at least in the betting world, Let's see. Morty Vickers says, you are both in need of a Gordon Ramsay burn. Insert idiot sandwich meme. You donkey! You cow! Yeah, I guess. These scallions look like yak vomit. Anyway. I love Gordon Ramsay. God, I love Gordon Ramsay. I will watch anything with Gordon Ramsay in it. I swear to you, I really do. We got big, good MMA going on this week. Boy, do we. Habib doing some stuff this weekend. Come on now. Let's see here. Come on now. Be good to daddy. And we'll get to that UFC. Yeah, Rosie, but it's Raw. I love it. It's Raw. Rosie says, how about those fights? Well, we're going to take a look at them. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Morty Vicker liked the Korean Zombie. I think I eventually went with him. And, man, I can't even remember who I picked on most of these. But I think I probably lost most of them. Anyway, Ortega dispatched with the Korean Zombie in a 5-round decision. Yeah, unanimously. The ladies, we had ladies fight. Morty Vicker says, great fights this past weekend, but this week is going to be the next level. Yeah, I agree with that. Chikagian losing to Andrade in a ladies fight. Punches in round 1, 4:55. Round was almost over. Kroot beat Bukauskas in round 1, 2 minutes in on punches. Silva losing a unanimous decision to Crouch in 3 rounds. Almeida, losing to Martinez in a unanimous decision. Rosie Williams says Ortega stomped him out. Yeah, he kind of, yeah. Morty says Zombie is a favorite, but I never bet on him. Okay. Well, if I mischaracterized your position, I'm sorry. Gamrot lost to Kutsaklazdze in a split decision. Robertson beating Botello in a ladies fight in a unanimous decision. Park over Phillips, unanimous decision. Malarkey losing to Zayam, unanimous decision. Antagulov losing to Grishin, punches, round 2. And Nurmagomedov losing to Striegel beating Striegel, in round 1, 51 seconds in on punches. So a big event coming up this weekend, and I mean it's a big event because if Habib wins that fight over Gaethje, that's gonna really, they're gonna want him to fight McGregor so badly, and he's gonna just keep saying no. Rosie says that ladies fight was called way too early, and I agree. Any fight where there's 5 seconds left in a round, Martinez dominated that fight. We got Habib against Gaethje. Habib, of course, undefeated. Gaethje, only 2 losses. Morty Vicker says, this weekend is going to be awesome, Tom. Let me know if you need help watching. Well, I might just do that. Well, those are early morning fights, aren't they? Well, I guess it's noon. Prelims begin, and that's 8:30. And those are my times. Those are mountain times. Whitaker and Cannonier, however you pronounce his name. It stinks when you don't get to hear these names very often. But anyway, Whitaker, both of them Americans. Whitaker 22-5. Cannonier, he says, I got you. Okay, 13-4. Volkov taking on Harris, and that's a 31-8 fighter against a 13-8 fighter. Volkov the favorite, Whitaker the favorite, by the way, and Habib the prohibitive favorite in that first fight. Malkoun is taking on Hawes, And that's a 4-0 fighter against an 8-2-0 fighter. The Hawes is the favorite there. In a ladies' fight, Murphy is taking on Shakarova. Shakarova 8-1-0. Murphy 13-4-0. And Murphy is the favorite. Ankalev is taking on Kutalaba, and it's 13-1 taking on 15-5, and Ankalev is 13-1. He's the favorite. In the prelims, Struve and Tuivasa, excuse me, Struve 29-12-0. He is the favorite in that fight. Oliveira taking on Rachmanov, and Oliveira is 22-8-1. Rachmanov is 12-0. Oliveira the favorite. Jung and Alvey hooking up, and Jung is the favorite there. Alvey 33-14-0. Jung 13-2. Early previews. Another Nurmagomedov. I gotta learn how to pronounce that. Can't they all have names like Habib, so I don't have to pronounce it? Nurmagomedov, 12-0. Is that Habib's brother? Please, taking on Morozov, and Joshua and Maverick getting it on in a ladies' fight. It's a ladies' fight, and Maverick's the favorite there. Wood and Kenny. Can't they all be named Wood and Kenny? And Alvarez and Yakovlev. So there we go. A lot of those fights not with any favorite listed at this time. I'm sure that will change by fight time. Let's head back and check in on the Cowgirls and the Cardinals. Rosie Williams says the refs seem to be getting worse every fight. We need Big John and Herb Dean back. No Steve Mazzagatti? Kidding? Morty Vickers says, thank you, Rose. No truer words have been said in MMA for a while. Well, Dana White says them all the time. And I don't know if they've gone to it or not, but I know the, commissions have been using sort of boxing officials to do MMA. They need some super dedicated MMA officials that know what they're doing. And come on now, man. Let's go. I need this to be working right now. Rosie says, hell no. Marty says, I hope he was kidding. 28-3 now, 6:58 left in the third. And it looks like I'm going to miss 6 games this week. And that's just not right. No, Steve Mazzagatti, yeah, he's incredible. He's amazingly good. Remember when he had that stupid mustache? There's a good video out about the worst MMA refs. Of course, he's number 1. There's a few others that are terrible as well. There's a couple guys that used to be fighters and that, were trainers and things that got into it, and they know what they're doing. If the sport at some point decides that they want to err during punches on the side of protecting the fighter, and they say, okay, we're doing this from now on, and it's universal, I don't necessarily have a problem with that. The problem that I have is the large number of fights I've seen in the last 2 years where a fighter is taking punches, but they're defending themselves. They certainly don't look out of it, and they're just in trouble for a second, and they call it. That I don't like. He ruined so many fights. What a joke, says Rosie Williams. Oh yeah, and occasionally he'd get all pissy. He'd be all, like almost he got mad at somebody, so he ended the fight on him real fast. Man, this better be good. Oh, well, it kind of is. What's this? going to be on a show next week, this week on Wednesday. Brother. And I'm getting a message about that. I'm on a panel. He said, she said. That'll be Wednesday at, I think, 6 o'clock Pacific time. So let me just say what it says. It's kind of a sport relationship. Created this group messenger for. Well, it's just they just created a group. Why do I need a message about that? Okay, well, that was pretty anticlimactic. Rosie Williams says, "Sexy time." Yeah. So anyway, Cowboys have the ball. It's 2nd and 10 on the Arizona 40. Dalton just threw an incomplete pass, deep left, to Wilson. Wilson was injured during the play. His return is questionable. So great things happening for the Cowboys. Woohoo! Morty Vickers says, hope you message us so we know when and where, Tom. I'll do my best. I don't know much about how the actual broadcast is going to work or where it'll be. I think it's on Good Talk Radio. Maybe the Facebook page, it'll be there perhaps. I don't know if it'll be on YouTube. I'll find that out tomorrow. And I'll let everybody know during the shows. And I'm sure I can have it shared or do something during the deal. I don't know. But I'll let you know best I can. Morty says, we are there. Yeah, it's a show about relationships. And there's like 5 people on it, 6 including the moderator. And I think it's 3 guys, 3 girls. And that's how that's going to roll. So well, you can keep score at home, I guess. Would be cool if you share it on my page. My Facebook page? Yeah, I probably will. One of the 2 I'll share it on. Best I can. Although it involves Facebook. Dolores Colbert says, especially if they discuss mine. Your relationship issues? Well, Ranger Rob is the host. And if you go to Ranger Rob Poopy Bags, or Rob Scribner is his name, Dolores, you could submit your relationship questions, and certainly if he comes into the chat room for either of my shows, you can ask him right there, and he'll, I'm sure, try to get it onto the show. Always happy to take people's requests in that regard. I have the meat sweats so bad right now. I'm like, Morty Vickers says, Ranger Rob will take your call. I don't know if he takes calls, but I know there'll be the chat room will be there. And you can certainly submit them during the live show, during the chat room. I'm participating on, Morty Vickers says, he's the man. He is. There's a reason they call him Big Daddy Cheesecake. I'm participating. It's on, I think I'm getting on there through StreamYard or something. So I probably won't even have my Facebook open. I'm so done with Facebook as far as that kind of stuff. I mean, I still have my pages. I still post things to it and all that stuff. But when I'm doing a live show, Facebook is just like dying to screw it up. Facebook also takes up tons of memory and other things, so slows your computer down. Morty says he's the blank. Speaking of blank, have you heard about Ranger Rob Pet Poopy Bags? Yes, I have. I certainly have. I've got a fresh package here always at the ready, and I don't even own a dog. So there we go. Anything else sports-wise going on we need to talk about? I don't think there is. I think we've pretty much covered it on a Monday night. We established that I suck at picking games last week, and I'll be better this week. And I guess there was a scuffle at the end of the first half. Ooh, boy. Hey, if you can't beat them, scuffle with them. I know. Zerline misses a 58-yard field goal. Wide right. So now the Cardinals will start at their own 40 with 5:43 left in the third. Yeah, keep trying for those field goals, Cowboys. You're only down 25 points. Might as well just go on fourth down. If you're going to turn the ball over on a field goal, why wouldn't you? Just asking. Wonder how Romeo Crennel's feeling today. Toward the end of the game, they went for two, did the Texans, and missed. And that allowed the Titans to tie the game up. Had they just gone for one, they wouldn't have been able to do it. So, then the Titans come back and win in overtime. The Texans didn't even touch the ball in OT. And it's like, well, Romeo, you just bringing back the memories there, buddy, of why you were the worst coach in the league. And Romeo Crennel, if there's ever a guy in need of a Nutrisystem, oh boy. I mean, there's some overweight coaches in the league, but that dude, he needs, a bra and a Bowflex. Morty Vickers says, Paige Van Zant moved to bare knuckle boxing. What do you think about that? Man, I think she's a competitor. I think she's a fighter. And Morty Vickers says, I think she's going to get smashed. Maybe so. I think whenever I see a move like that seems kind of crazy, the first thing that springs to my mind is she has to have done that because she doesn't think she can either be successful, at what she's doing, or that organization isn't treating her properly, or a combination of both. Morty Vickers says, I like her. Rosie says, she's done for. I'll trust you guys on that stuff. I really, at the beginning of the UFC, I mean, when it first started, I was all up in it. And then when the Ultimate Fighter series was going on, I was up in that as well. But I have fallen out of really staying super zoned in. The coverage wasn't as good back then, and so you just sort of watch that shows. Now the coverage is great. Ariel Helwani, I think, is brilliant. And I just haven't had the time to stay as completely focused in it as I should. So she was on Chopped, She was in the Celebrity Chopped, and she won it. 8 wins, 5 losses in the MMA. And, but she did lose to Rebus. And really, her last 6 fights, she had 2 wins. Rose beat her. She beat Beck Rawlings by knockout. Watterson submitted her. She lost a decision to Jessica Rose Clark. And she beat Rachel Ostovich by submission. And then she lost by submission. So I don't know. Maybe going 2-4 when she had been 6-1. That might have had something to do with it. I don't know. But I like her, and she's only 26, which would indicate if she does mixed martial arts bare knuckle for a year or 2, and try and come back. I don't know. Morty said she needs to stick with OnlyFans. She can't hack it in the UFC, says Rosie. Morty says Ariel definitely knows the sport more than most people I talk to. She's the real deal if you want to have a convo. Ariel Hawani is a guy. You probably meant he's the real deal if you want to have a conversation. Yeah. I love the YouTube videos with he and Rampage. Their back and forth is hilarious. And then they went out together and hung out. They had sort of at first, and I think Rampage recognized this guy's really dedicated. He really knows what he's talking about. He's not trying to be a jerk, and he won't back down. He's gonna keep showing up. He's gonna keep asking the hard questions, and he's committed to the sport. And he's a journalist. So I think that might be what happened there. I don't know. I hope so, because I think he is outstanding at what he does. Morty Vickers says he's so good. So is Joe Rogan. Look, I love Joe Rogan on 100 different levels. And most of them are not MMA related. However, my only criticism, and this is the only one, and it's not a big one, so let's not all lose it, he gets a little bandwagony sometimes. And maybe he has to do that because of his association with the UFC. I don't know. Maybe he just gets sucked into it. But man, he was on the Ronda Rousey hype train at the very, very front. And so he blows with the wind a little bit. But you know what? So do all sports journalists. So Morty Vickers says, just glad Goldberg is gone. I didn't mind Goldberg at all. Didn't bother me a bit. He struck me as kind of an off-the-rack standard announcer. Okay, he didn't strike me as anything spectacular. I thought he was good at his job. However, I think regardless of his popularity, I always remember thinking, they could probably find somebody better at knowing the UFC and all that stuff. I think his skills as an announcer were fine. I thought he was a little bit stiff, a little bit old school, but so was like a Dick Enberg. So I don't know. I kind of thought he was a little unfairly treated, like just slightly. But the organization wants to make a decision to move in a different direction and get somebody that's a little more exciting, a little more colorful. Certainly that sport, I can understand that 100%. Happens every day. Rosie said they screwed Goldberg. Rosie said for how many years he was there, they treated him like, if I had to hear him say Mai Tai one more time, I'd punch myself in the face. Well, that was it. I mean, it's just, there was a guy, I think he's still doing stuff. He was a big idol of mine named Al Troutwig. And he was a dude, first of all, that you could place in any sport and he could do the game or the commentary. He was incredible. But he was also really funny. It was really funny. And I saw Mike Goldberg as that same kind of guy. Wind him up, send him to a sport, and he's going to do just a real solid job of getting some excitement and building the atmosphere. But he didn't have that funny or entertaining gear to him at all. At all. But I will say this, and I think this is undeniable. You look at the time he was in the UFC, it was him and Rogan, and there will be a lot of people whose formative UFC memories include Goldberg. And I don't think he disgraced himself. I don't think he ever did anything to bring any sort of shame or dishonor to the UFC from an announcing standpoint. I thought, just one of those things. Just one of those things. Al brought something to the table, though. I'll be the first to admit that. If anything, Mike was a little too white bread. He was just a little too, like I said, stiff, in my opinion. And here's a guy, how many people are listening to this show? I mean, it's not like It's not like I'm Al Michaels, all right? Although, really, you guys should all call your local radio stations that do sports and say, you got to get this guy. I've already tried in your area, Morty, with one station. Morty, are you and Rosie familiar with the Mightier 1090 that I call the Mightier 190? Morty said he was definitely there for the golden years. He just rubbed me wrong. He rubbed a lot of people wrong. You know, I don't think he was dyed-in-the-wool UFC. I think he got the job, learned a lot about it, but it just wasn't in his blood. I know a guy in Dallas. He's the announcer for the Mavericks. He's incredible at it. He used to do a talk show. He was incredible at that. He does the FC Dallas matches. And I want to shoot myself in the head. And he's gotten to do World Cup matches because of that. And I want to shoot myself in the head. He screams his head off when some guy takes a shot that goes 25 feet over the goal. Not the way you do it in soccer. Morty Vickers says, Mighty 1090. Heard of it, I think. Not really popular in my circle. Yeah, it's the Mighty 1090. It's called the Mightier 1090 now. Do you get San Diego stations where you live, Morty? Because it's a San Diego station, and I guarantee if... Well, let me see here. Why am I asking you? Well, because you know, probably. Let me see if you get it. Oh, you get it. You get it. No question in my mind. You get it at 1090 on your AM dial. Yeah, San Diego. Yeah. Yeah, I tried there. They've got 2 live shows a day. One lasts for an hour. Go to their website. When the Wolf and I mention Mike Guido and laugh, that's why. They've got a network presence. They got an awesome dude on in the afternoons. It's incredible. But man, oh man, oh man. They don't deserve you, Tom. Well, right now, beggars can't be choosers in Southern California during the COVID. IBC Black Cherry. I remember when IBC used to be a boxing division. Now it's a soda. Anyway, I think that's going to do it for sports tonight. I hope you've enjoyed Tom Gulley's Unnecessary Sports Show. Hopefully we've done everything we can to make you realize just how unnecessary this show is. We're trying to get the word out. Cali isn't a good market. You have to be a tool. No, I think I could do well there. Thanks, Tom. Love the name change. Yeah, I got to go back to the actual page and change the name of it if they let me. Let me see if they're even going to let me here real quick. Well, while we're all sitting here. How to change your YouTube channel name. There we go. How to change on your mobile app. Bite me in your channel settings, edit. All right, I'll try that later. We'll try that later. Dolores Colbert says, enjoyed it, Tom. I hope you guys do. I got to get some more. We got to get some more sports fans in here. We got to, yeah, come on. Let's break it down. Come on. I'm fine just talking to you guys about this stuff. And, I'm doing this in the hopes that eventually some smart program director will stumble upon it and go, you know what? We need somebody we can pay peanuts to come into this market and do a sports show. Morty Vigor says, I know you would be a good fit. It's just that people are too lame to have you. You demand, Tom. Well, thank you, Morty. Thank you. And believe me, when you're in a specific market where there's specific teams and there's no COVID, it's a lot easier to be like, man, you cover these things generally, and I could go into some things. Like I could have gone off at Romeo Crennel for 20 minutes. The Jets, please. Why has that guy got a job? I mean, it's just keep doing stupid things. I really hope Le'Veon Bell runs for about 175 yards, receives for 100 more. Look, people from New York think the most important things in the world are teams from New York. Well, the Yankees didn't get it done. The Knicks are a dumpster fire. Both of their football teams are dumpster fires. Their MLS teams aren't bad, but they're not the end of the world. And it's like, what do you New York sports fans keep, it's like the national sports shows, you hear them, well, I don't know what we're going to do with the Jets, because it's like, why would you even talk about the Jets? If the Jets were located in Cincinnati, you wouldn't hear a word about them. Not one word. And I'm so sick of the New York sports blabbermouth bully. Blah, blah, blah. Hey, this year I think the Knicks, if they can get the God situation under control, they're going to be competitive. No, they're not. No, not at all. Giants? How much would the Giants pay to have Eli back? They crapped on that guy. The last 3-4 years he was there. And is it now apparent how he was doing something with nothing? That offensive line is like Swiss cheese, soft and full of holes. I mean, All right, people saying goodbye. Hold on, let me get my popcorn. But yeah, I'm sick of these New York blowhards. Not just the people that call in, but Mike Francesa. God, he looks like Tarzan, plays like Jane. If I hear him say that one more time, it could be a drinking game. They're just blowhards. But you got to be like, no, you got to realize, Bill. Thanks for your call. Bill, you got to realize, the offensive line's not getting it done, but it's, like you're some genius. How can you be a genius watching those teams? If you're doing sports in Boston, at least you get to watch the Patriots, who I hate but are awesome. Poor guy in Peyton's shadow. Well, is he? Is he? Peyton 2-2 in the Super Bowl. Eli 2-0. I don't know. That's another conversation you can have. A lot of people are like, should Eli be in the Hall? And I'm like, well, yeah, he should. He won 2 Super Bowls, and he won them both over the Patriots, and one of them he beat a 17-0 team. Yeah, I think probably he should be, or 18-0, whatever they were. I think he needs to be in the Hall. I do. Dolores Colbert says, best thing that happened at MetLife is U2 concerts. Morty Vickers says, Eli lived in a shadow and it's not fair. He did better than anyone could have with what he had to work with. Yeah. Eli was a gamer, man. And I know about the interceptions. I know. But when you're throwing on your back, Rosie Williams says, Peyton in the box and only showing him. Yeah. Yeah. So, But New York, man, they can throw that in the harbor. Seriously. I don't want to hear, all the best basketball players come from New York. Really? Really? Where's LeBron from? Okay. Where's Magic from? Okay. Where's MJ from? Okay. Where's Larry Bird from? Okay. Where's Kobe from? Okay. See where I'm going with this? All right? Football players from New York City? Don't make me laugh. On down the line. You know. The Yankees, I wipe myself with the Yankees. All right? You spend that much money and you can't win? The Dodgers, hey, look, they spend a lot of money. But they're in the World Series. You know? MLB payrolls 2020. Bam! Let's check it out. Bam! I here we go. Yankees 113 million. Dodgers 105. Cubs 89, Red Sox 82, Astros 81, Mets 79, Phillies 74. Let's just get your Final Four playoff teams. Yankees 113. Then you got the Dodgers 105. You got the Astros 81. You got Padres were 69. Man, the Rays 28.6. And they're in the World Series. Where are the Braves at? They're 13th, 65.3. You know, way to go, Yankees. I don't know what to say. They're combined 1-9 in football. 1-9. And I don't see that getting any better. What's the schedule? Who do both of those guys play this week? Let me get this. 28-3 still? Yeah, 28-3. 11-24 in the fourth remaining. NFL. Let's look at the schedules. What was that, Tom? I wiped myself with what? The Yankees. I wiped myself with the Yankees. And their fans. Well, this wasn't our year, but next year, I really think we got them. They were playing the Dodgers. Not the Dodgers. They were playing the Astros. And they were like, all these young people, I think we got them. I think we got them. I really do think we got them. I'm like, you don't got them. You don't got nothing. Giants are at Philadelphia Thursday night. Give me the Eagles. Oh, no. I think this week we really showed against the Washington football team. Giants are back. Big Blue's back. All right? Big Blue is back. We got a 1-point win. Big Blue is back. No, you're not. No, you're not. Buffalo takes on the Jets. Nope, I don't think it's going too well for the New York football teams. Steaming pile of dung. Jets are 0-6. The Giants are 1-5. They beat a 1-5 team. Woohoo! Just this week in Washington. And come on, they play in the NFC East. You know who's on top of the NFC East and even will be after this game? The Dallas Cowboys at 2-3, soon to be 2-4. Let me repeat that. The Dallas Cowboys will be on top of the NFC East at 2-4. The Jets at least have the Bills, the Dolphins, and the Patriots. Incidentally, the Bills lead that division. Dolphins are in second at 3-3. The Patriots are 2-3. Guess what, Patriots? If only you were in the NFL, in the NFC East. Excuse me. Morty Vickers says, oof, Eagles, that's a tough pick for me. I wouldn't bet on this one for anything, even though I have a guess. Oh, you got to pick the Eagles in that one. You gotta. Just from quarterback play alone. Dolores Colbert says, just pitiful. Yeah, Did you see Max and Orlovsky get in the argument today about Carson Wentz? I mean, they were yelling at each other. Orlovsky is the biggest excuse maker on earth. Max Kellerman, I love, even when I don't agree with him. But, Orlovsky's got to be, hey, what about the drops? Drops don't matter, man. What about the 92 things he just did wrong? Can we not talk about that? Orlovsky. Good Lord. Good Lord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Played for 6 NFL teams. Well, played's a little. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those seasons he didn't play at all. Not a snap. So, played in 2 games his rookie year, 7 completions. He had 2 years where he really did a little something. Played in 10 games in 2008, started 7 of them. Then in 2011, he played in 8 games for the Colts, started 5 of them. Played a game in Tampa in 12, played 2 games in Tampa in 12, didn't start either one of those. And played in 2 games for Detroit in 15. So, completed 298 passes out of 512 attempts for 3,132 yards, 6.1 average per completion, 15 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, 29 sacks. Okay. But he making all these excuses, and you got to see the video. It's on ESPN. You got to see the video, man. You just do. You just got to see it. Because they're yelling at each other. Morty Vickers says, I have the Dodgers in 6. What'd you have for dinner tonight, Tom? I had a big old T-bone steak. And I have the meat sweats right now. Dolores Colbert says, what was Kansas City coach's problem around halftime? He was pissed. Well, it's not. Things ain't going the way they probably weren't doing what he was telling them to. He had problems with that defense. I think the game at halftime, let's just see what the game was at halftime. Morty said, atta boy, atta baby. Let me check that out and see what was going on at halftime. I was doing the show and getting ready for the show and stuff with the show. But at halftime, it was only 13-10 Chiefs. So he was probably having to light a few fires. Mahomes, man, was he on fire or what? 21 out of 26, 225 yards, 2 touchdowns. That doesn't even, get into what he rushed for. All right, what do we got going on here? Man. All right. Kansas City rushing. Mahomes, 10 rushes for 36 yards. Man. All right, gosh, I just sometimes there's people in my life that I'm going to, I've had this conversation a few times this week already. And it's, hey, I'm blocking you from all my social media if you don't pull your head out of your ass and realize I do radio shows. Okay? Deal? You self-absorbed ass. Do I call you when your kid's doing something or you gotta get your hair done or whatever BS thing you're going through? No, I do not. I do not. Yeah. Good gravy. All right. That's going to do it for tonight's Tom Gulley's Unnecessary Sports. Oh, I know what I was going to tell you. So Mahomes rushed for another 36 yards. Took 1 sack for 4 yards. His QBR was only 81.4. Allen's was actually higher at 85.8. And he had 2 touchdowns and an interception. I wonder why his was higher. It's 14 out of 27. I have no idea why his would be higher. I really don't. There's something screwed up with that old thing. Allen actually rushed 8 times for 42 yards, though. And there you go. There you go. So, what are you going to do? Kid ain't got no mother. You know what I'm saying? All right, that's going to do it for tonight's Tom Gulley's Unnecessary Sports Show. Barefoot Billy. No, it wasn't Barefoot Billy. It was somebody I just know that you guys have never met because they've never drugged their sorry ass into any of my shows because they're that self-absorbed. I've actually been, when I was in Dallas, at events, parties, gatherings with these people, and they'll go, well, the Cowboys, blah, blah, blah. And then I rattle off a stat with, well, no, actually, that's not the team they're playing. Their record is this and blah, blah, blah. Wow, you know a lot about the Cowboys. I'm like, yeah, I do a show about sports for 4 hours a day on the radio. Oh, that's right. You have the blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And you want me to come to your stupid events and do all your stuff, and you're just barely aware of my sports show that you never have listened to, and you're a sports fan. It's never the people that you know. Ever. The people that I actually know, with the exception of people like the Wolf and Kurt Connor, and those are dear friends. And Lynette, who's so dreamy. Love your show, bud. See you tomorrow. Okay, you guys, we're out of here. That's going to do it for tonight. Until next time, good night and good sports.